justice delay is justice denied.
Trumbull County Prosecutor Dennis Watkins reacting to a decision by the Supreme Court centering around Danny Lee Hill's sentencing. The death penalty was thrown out by a federal appellate court last year, but now it could be reimposed. 27 First News reporter Nadine Grimley has the latest on the decision tonight.
Justice is a journey. It doesn't end until it's done.
Joined by Miriam Fife, Trumbull County Prosecutor Dennis Watkins reacts to a decision made by the Supreme Court of the United States just today in Danny Lee Hill's case.
As far as we know, it's unanimous. There were no dissents. The whole court said the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals wrongfully applied the law.
Hill was convicted in the 1985 attack, rape, and murder of 12-year-old Raymond Fife. The Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals threw out Hill's death sentence last February. The panel said there was clear and convincing evidence that Hill is mentally disabled. Then Attorney General Mike DeWine appealed that ruling. In today's Supreme Court opinion, the justices said the appeals court applied the wrong standard when it found Hill was not eligible for execution, sending the sentencing issue back to their court for another review.
I was happy about it. I wanted it to be over, period, but I just, I know that, okay, maybe this case, when it's finally settled and everything's done, will help another case at some point coming down the pike.
We are very happy that it's going back and the death penalty may be imposed, and as we said with the appeal, and as this strong opinion says, the evidence is there.
In Warren, Nadine Grimley, WKBN 27 First News.
Tonight with continuing coverage on the request for a new trial of convicted murderer Danny Lee Hill.
Now, it's a murder case that began 31 years ago in which Hill and another man were convicted of raping, torturing, and burning 12-year-old Raymond Fife. A visiting judge has now made a decision. 27 First News anchor Stan Boney joins us live with the details about this new request.
Well, Danny Lee Hill's case for a new trial centers around bite marks that were found on the body of Raymond Fife after he was found murdered here in Warren in September of 1985. In the ensuing trial that took place here at the Trumbull County Courthouse, it was determined that those bite marks did come from Danny Lee Hill. But since then, there are new dental forensic guidelines that state that bite marks are not good evidence and should not be used possibly in a trial like this one. Hill's lawyers said that that was enough evidence to allow for a new trial. However, visiting Judge Patricia Cosgrove today disagreed with that and denied Danny Lee Hill a new trial. Now, here's what Judge Cosgrove had to say. Even if this court were to conclude that the bite mark evidence were unreliable, there is no probability that a new trial would result in a different outcome. Now, we also have videotape of Danny Lee Hill. This is 2008, when Hill was trying to convince the court that he had mental issues and therefore his death penalty should be overturned. It was Danny Lee Hill along with Timothy Combs that were both convicted of murdering Raymond Fife in September of 1985. Combs remains in prison, as does Danny Lee Hill. Only Danny Lee Hill is on death row. Now, earlier today, I talked with Miriam Fife, the mother of Raymond Fife, and asked her if she is frustrated that 30 years after this trial, it is still being drugged through the court system.
I understand the court system because I've been in it so long. I think it's just that these frivolous things that they keep filing, and I don't understand the law and why it allows this to happen.
Well, Trumbull County Prosecutor Dennis Watkins today also released a statement saying he was pleased with the judge's decision. He said, quote, "This is one of a litany of opinions from various state and federal courts affirming the fairness of the trial and the justice pronounced in 1986. Live in Warren, Stan Boney, WKBN 27 First News.
Georgia denied a stay of execution for death row inmate Warren Lee Hill. The justices also ruled they will not hear an appeal where Hill claims he cannot be executed because of his alleged intellectual disability. He was convicted in 1990 for killing a fellow prison inmate.
He's scheduled to die by lethal injection next Tuesday.
One of the men convicted in the 1985 death of 12-year-old Raymond Fife has died. 50-year-old Timothy Combs died at the Grafton prison last week, according to the State Department of Corrections. Combs was 17 years old when he, along with 18-year-old Danny Lee Hill, attacked Fife as he was walking home from a Boy Scout meeting. Combs was given a life sentence for the crime. Miriam Fife, Raymond's mother, reached out to us tonight. She said, "I'm not celebrating his death. I wouldn't do that. But I can rest in peace knowing that one more person won't be let out of prison and do to a child what he did to Raymond. I can rest easy on that one."